may be a hint that you're going to get, like when we got the money for Glade, but that money then is programmed through a series of events that take you sometimes. Good example, we found out we got the money in September, October. It had to go through an approval process in December. It then finally got approved by the feds later in the spring. So you kind of get a hint you're going to get it, but you don't really, and then it's not even programmed for availability for the following fiscal year. So usually from the time you apply to the time you actually have use of the money, it's 18 months, 2 years. For the federal related funding, the local programs through Texas Parks and Wildlife may be on a slightly accelerated timeline.
And sidewalks, I'll just say this, sidewalks are interesting things, and the difference in trail, we talk about trails and we talk about sidewalks, so what's the difference? Sometimes that gets blurred, but sidewalks have been discussed in this city for many years. And it's interesting when you start talking about sidewalks in particular subdivisions. There are a whole variety of opinions on that topic. It's kind of interesting. But not trails. Everybody
use the wall.
Because we got great facilities between cities. We got the Cottontail Trail. We got our park. And actually, some of these were picked because there's gaps in those trail connectivities that can be easily filled in. And so we're going after those high priority gaps on the trail side of it. Like we'll get that done pretty short order.
And we should have those done along 26, Glade Road, all the new construction that's going on. We'll have our trail system. And but you're right, it is interesting. I remember a couple of years ago when we were walking the houses, they finished up Kingston over there. And some of the people we would talk to wanted the sidewalks in their yard and the other half didn't. And it was like the war over sidewalks. And so the interior sidewalks, we found out that that's the fight. But the master trails and stuff, like you said, everybody wants that, and that's what we were striving for, and that's why we built the new map in 2018.
Yeah,
it's an issue.
Yeah, and that reminds me, when that map was done, and the ones that were previous to the map, the priorities were sidewalk from a sidewalk perspective. Priority 1, get kids from schools to houses. Yep. Priority 2 is get them safely to parks and whatnot. So there was a strategy around that. Just it needs to be redone. It's just too over.
Yes. There, just for clarification, the difference between the two terms, traditionally a sidewalk is 4 to 5 feet in width. A trail is 8 to 10 feet, and the trail will follow a national standard, the AASHTO standard. Yeah. The sidewalk will follow your local policy. So traditionally we go with 4 feet. There are some areas we do 5 feet if it's in close proximity to the road, but the trails then tend to be 8 or 10 feet. They're designed for more frequent use by bicyclists as well as runners and walkers. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And different degrees of speed.
Exactly.
The bicyclists, both joggers.
I have a new biker at home. She's not very skilled. Enjoying it, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mark. Y'all have any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay. Then we'll move to agenda item 6. Oh, yeah, we're in the public. 6.